Hi guys, it's Melanie. Welcome to my channel. Today I have my November book haul for you, so stay tuned. So I have 17 books to haul for you for November, so let's just jump right in. So the first book I have here is actually a coloring book. It's like an adult coloring book, and that is for The Lunar Chronicles by Marissa Meyer. I don't normally go for this kind of adult coloring book because I like to have like more of like the mandala type, but I do like The Lunar Chronicles, so I thought this would be cool. Okay, next up we have Kingdom of the Blazing Phoenix by Julie C. Dow, and this is the sequel to Forest of a Thousand Lanterns, which at the time I purchased this, because I got this from Ollie's. At the time I purchased it, I was sure that I had that book, and now I can't find it. So I'm gonna have to look and see if maybe I've misplaced it somewhere. But I thought I had it. It's almost positive. But let me pull up on Goodreads. An East Asian fantasy reimagining of the Evil Queen legend about one peasant girl's quest to become empress, and the darkness she must unleash to achieve her destiny. 18-year-old Effing is beautiful. The stars say she is destined for greatness, that she is meant to be the empress of Finglu, but only if she embraces the darkness within her. Growing up as a peasant in a forgotten village on the edge of the map, Zaifeng longs to fulfill the destiny promised to her by the cruel aunt, the witch Guma, who has read the cards and seen glimmers of Xfeng's, I know I'm saying that wrong and I'm sorry, majestic future. But is the price of the throne too high? Because in order to achieve greatness, she must spurn the young man who loves her and exploit the callous magic that runs through her veins. Sorcery fueled by eating the hearts of the recently killed. For the god who has sent her on this journey will not be satisfied until his power is absolute. And yeah, I love fairy tale retellings, and I swear I've got that book somewhere. I just don't know where. Okay, next up we have A Midsummer Night's Scream by R.L. Stine, and this is a rather short book. It's only, let's see, like 249 pages, and let's see, this says, "Oh, what fools these actors be. It was a horror movie that turned into real horror. 3 young actors lost their lives while the camera rolled. Production stopped and people proclaimed the movie was cursed. Now, 60 years later, new actors are venturing onto the haunted set. In a desperate attempt to revive their failing studio, Claire's dad has greenlit a remake of Mayhem Manor, and Claire and her friends are dying to be involved. At first, Claire laughs at Jake's talk of ghosts and curses. He's been too busy crushing on her best friend, Delia, or making out with that slut, Anna Lee, to notice that she's practically been throwing herself at him. What does he know anyway? This is her big chance to be a star." But then Claire runs into a creepy little man named Benny Puckerman and gets her hands on a real love potion. Unfortunately, the course of true love never did run smooth. Get ready for laughter to turn into screams as the Grand Master of Horror, R.L. Stine, takes on the Master of Theater in this modern reimagining of Shakespeare's classic romantic comedy, A Midsummer Night's Dream. Next up we have Dangerous Deception by Cami Garcia and Margaret Stoll, and this is the second book in the Dangerous Creatures series, which I believe I have the first book. Yes, I have the first book on my shelf over there, but I'm just going to pull it up on Goodreads here. This says, "From the world of beautiful creatures, a dangerous new tale of love and magic. Ridley Ducanis is nobody's heroine. She's a dark caster, a siren. She can make you do things, anything. You can't trust her or yourself when she's around. And she'll be the first to tell you to stay away, especially if you're going to do something as stupid as fall in love with her. Luckily for Ridley, her wannabe rocker boyfriend, Wesley Link Lincoln, never listens to anyone. Link doesn't care if Rid's no good for him, and he takes her along when he leaves small-town Gatlin to follow his rock star dream. He teams up with a ragtag group of dark casters, and when the band scores a gig at a hot underground club, it looks like all of Link's dreams are about to come true. But New York City is a dangerous place for both casters and mortals, and soon Ridley realizes that Link's bandmates are keeping secrets. With Bad Boy Club owner Lennox Gates on her heels, Rid is determined to find out the truth. What she discovers is worse than what she could have imagined. Link has a price on his head that no caster or mortal can ever pay. With their lives on the line, what's a siren to do? And I love the Beautiful Creature series, and this is a spin-off from one of the characters in that series, and I'm really looking forward to reading these. Next up we have It Sounded Better in My Head by Nina Kenwood. And this is another rather short book. It's only 260 pages. And this says, when Natalie's parents tell her they're splitting up after 20 years of marriage, and after 10 months of pretending everything was okay, she can't figure out what she missed or how they're so calm. Not only is Natalie's perfect family falling apart, so are her plans to live in her parents' house once she gets to college, and after college. For the foreseeable future, in fact. At least when Zach and Lucy, her best friends, got together, Natalie saw the signs, though she wasn't prepared to walk in on them making out. It's not easy being the third wheel, especially because Natalie thought Zach was the potential future love of her life, even if that was mostly because he was the only guy in her life. But when Natalie surprises herself by accepting an invitation to a party where she sees a different side to someone she thought she knew, as it turns out, she didn't know this person at all, and falls head over heels into a confusing, awkward, and altogether thrilling new romance. Now Natalie's beginning to wonder if maybe she could have more than what she always thought possible. Next up we have On the Come Up, Collector's Edition by Angie Thomas. Ooh, and this is very, very reflective. Bless you, Marty. This says, 16-year-old Bree wants to be one of the greatest rappers of all time, or at least win her first battle. As the daughter of an underground hip-hop legend who died right before he hit it big, Bree's got massive shoes to fill, but it's hard to get your come up when you're labeled a hoodlum at school and your fridge at home is empty after your mom loses her job. So Bree pours her anger and frustration into her first song, which goes viral, for all the wrong reasons. Bree soon finds herself at the center of a controversy portrayed by the media as more of a menace than MC. But with an eviction notice staring her family down, Bree doesn't just want to make it, she has to, even if it means becoming the very thing the public has made her out to be. Insightful, unflinching, and full of heart, On the Come Up is an ode to hip-hop from one of the most influential literary voices of a generation. And it says this collector's edition of the acclaimed best-selling novel contains a letter from the author, deleted scenes, a picture of the author as a teen rapper, an annotated playlist, Angie's top 5 MCs, an annotated rap, illustrated quotes from the book, and an excerpt from Angie's next novel. And looks like this. I've also heard that the audiobook for this is amazing, so I'm probably going to listen and follow along with this. And sorry if y'all can hear the beeping going on in the background. My in-laws are here and they're helping with a project that we're currently working on, like a home improvement project, and he's finding studs. Okay, next up we have The Speaker, which is book 2 of Sea of Ink and Gold by Tracy Chi. This was, oh my gosh, The Reader is one of my favorite tropes. It's a bookish book. There is a book within a book, and it's a lot of fun. Here, let me pull up what it says. One thing I can tell you about The Reader is that it is best physically read and not listening to the audiobook, because, well, for one, it switches back and forth between what's going on in reality versus what's going on in this book. And so that can be hard to keep up with. And also there's like hidden messages in the book. And I'm guessing there are hidden messages in this as well. Oh, there are. So throughout the book on certain pages, there is, I don't know if you can even see it, next to some of the page numbers is a word. And you get like a secret message if you go through and read all of the words together. Here's what it looks like when you're reading the book within the book. And then here's what it looks like when you're just reading like what normally is going on. So here's what Goodreads says. Sephia knows what it means to survive. After her father is brutally murdered, she flees into the wilderness with her Aunt Nin, who teaches her to hunt, track, and steal. But when Nin is kidnapped, leaving Sephia completely alone, none of her survival skills can help her discover where Nin's been taken, or if she's even alive. The only clue to both her aunt's disappearance and her father's murder is the odd rectangular object her father left behind. An object she comes to realize is a book. A marvelous item unheard of in her otherwise illiterate society. With the help of this book and the aid of a mysterious stranger with dark secrets of his own, Sephia sets out to rescue her aunt and find out what really happened the day her father was killed and punish the people responsible. And I think I gave that 5 stars. Yeah, that was a 5-star read for me. And my mom, we read it together, and she couldn't wait for me to get the second book, so she had to go. And I think she checked out from the library the second one and has read it and the third book as well. And she's just waiting for me to catch up so we can talk about it. So she'll be very happy that I finally got it. Okay, I need to stop for just a second and get me a sip of water because I've been talking for hours on a lot of other videos I've been filming and I'm parched. Okay, I am back, and the next book we have is The Towering Sky by Katharine McGee. This is the third and I think final book in the Thousandth Floor series, which I've read this one and the second one, which is I think The Dazzling Heights, and really enjoyed them. Let me see if I have a good review to read for you. Okay, I guess I didn't write a review. I'll just read you what the book said, because it's been a while since I read it. But yeah, let me just read this because I don't know that I'd be good at summarizing it. New York City as you've never seen it before. A 1,000-story tower stretching into the sky. A glittering vision of the future where anything is possible if you want it enough. Welcome to Manhattan 2118. 100 years in the future, New York is a city of innovation and dreams. Everyone there wants something and everyone has something to lose. Lita Cole's a flawless exterior belies a secret addiction to a drug she never should have tried and a boy she never should have touched. Eris Dodd Radson's beautiful, carefree life falls to pieces when a heartbreaking betrayal tears her family apart. Rylan Meyer's job on one of the highest floors sweeps her into a world and a romance she never imagined. But will this new life cost Rylan her old one? Wat Baccarati is a tech genius with a secret. He knows everything about everyone. But when he's hired to spy for an upper floor girl, he finds himself caught in a complicated web of lies. And living among everyone else on the 1,000th floor is Avery Fuller, the girl genetically designed to be perfect. The girl who seems to have it all, yet is tormented by the one thing she can never have. Amid breathtaking advancement and high-tech luxury, 5 teenagers struggle to find their place at the top of the world. But when you're this high up, there's nowhere to go but down. And I do remember that at the start of this book, somebody, and we don't know who, falls from the 1,000th floor down and dies. And this also has a very, I don't know, like Gossip Girl kind of feel to it in a way. I really enjoyed it, and so I'm glad to have the last book finally. And then over to this side, this is a 1,000 dot-to-dot icons. So we have people like Madonna and Elvis and Van Gogh and the Mona Lisa, Alfred Hitchcock, things like that. And these, I just think these are a lot of fun, so I picked this up. I got it for like $1.99 at Ollie's. Next we have The Desert Prince by Alicia Sevigny. This is the second book in the Lost Scroll of the Physician series, and they're supposed to have sent me the first one as well, but I haven't gotten it yet. Well, actually, I think she said she was emailing me a link with the ebook for it, but I don't know that I've gotten that one yet. So let me read you what it says about the first book, The Lost Scroll of the Physician. In her search for answers, Sesha must find a priceless scroll for the pharaoh. Sesha and Kai, children of the pharaoh's royal physician, are left charming snakes and stealing food to survive after a brutal fire takes their parents and their home. Unsure of whom to trust, the pair are found and brought back to the palace, despite misgivings that the royals are somehow involved in their parents' deaths. Sesha is tasked with finding the rare and valuable medical document her father was transcribing for the pharaoh, who needs it urgently for his upcoming campaign. Befriended by another scribe and a young princess, Sesha must navigate palace intrigue and temple treachery while desperately seeking the priceless scroll that not only has the power to reveal the circumstances around her parents' death and mitigate any casualties of battle, but may also be the only thing that can save her brother's life. And then we have Shout by Laurie Halse Anderson. This is the sequel to Speak, and I have read Speak. I think I gave that 5 stars. That is about a girl who is raped, and then she keeps quiet for a long time, and she really struggles with what's going on, but she keeps it all to herself until one day she knows that this boy, this monster, has somebody else in their sights, and she struggles with, does she come out and tell everybody what this boy has done to protect this other girl, or does she just keep it to herself? Okay, next up we have Cemetery Boys by Aiden Thomas. This is about a boy who is trying to, I think, summon his friend that has passed away, his cousin. Let me just read what it says. Yadril has summoned a ghost and now he can't get rid of him. When his traditional Latinx family has problems accepting his gender, Yadril becomes determined to prove himself a real brujo. With the help of his cousin and best friend Maritza, he performs the Quinces ritual himself and then sets out to find the ghost of his murdered cousin Miguel and set it free. However, the ghost he summons is actually Julian Diaz, the school's resident bad boy, and Julian is not about to go quickly into death. He's determined to find out what happened and tie up some loose ends before he leaves. Left with no choice, Yadril agrees to help Julian so that they can both get what they want. But the longer Yadril spends with Julian, the less he wants him to leave. And then we have, oh, this big boy. A Peculiar Peril by Jeff Vandermeer, and this is a signed copy. I actually won both of these in a giveaway. This says, in this strange, wonder-filled epic, Jonathan Lambshed stands to inherit his deceased grandfather's overstuffed mansion, a veritable cabinet of curiosities. Once he and 2 schoolmates catalog its contents. But the 3 soon discover that the house is filled with far more than just oddities. It holds clues linking to an alt-earth called Aurora, where the notorious English occultist Aleister Crowley has seized power on a magic-fueled rampage across a through-the-looking-glass version of Europe, replete with talking animals and vegetables. Swept into encounters with unpredictable allies and murderous enemies, Jonathan pieces together his destiny as a member of a secret society devoted to keeping his world separate from Aurora. But as objectives change and allegiances shift with every step, he and his friends sink ever deeper into a deadly pursuit of a profound evil that is also chasing after them in this head-spinning fantasy from the Nebula Award-winning author. And I think this sounds amazing. Though this is a long book. It's like about 750 pages, something like that. Very long, but I'm excited to read it. Next up, we have The Infinity Courts by Akemi Dawn Bowman. And this was another book that I won from a giveaway. This says, Naomi Miyamoto is certain her life is just beginning. She has a great family, just graduated high school, and is on her way to a party where her entire class is waiting for her, including, most importantly, the boy she's been in love with for years. The only problem? She's murdered before she gets there. When Naomi wakes up, she learns she's in a place called Infinity, where human consciousness goes when physical bodies die. She quickly discovers that Ophelia, a virtual assistant wildly used by humans on Earth, has taken over the afterlife and is now posing as a queen, forcing humans into servitude, the way she'd been forced to serve in the real world. Even worse, Ophelia is inching closer and closer to accomplishing her grand plans of eradicating human existence once and for all. As Naomi works with a team of rebels to bring down Ophelia and save the humans under her imprisonment, she is forced to reckon with her past, her future, and what it is that truly makes us human. I think this also sounds really good. This one's also a thick book. It's about, looks like about 450 pages, 460, something like that. Next up we have Riverdale, The Poison Pen by Caleb Rarig. This is the 4th book in this series. The series is actually written by, gosh, who is it? Sorry, this is the 5th book in the series. The first 5 books are written by Mikol Ostov, and I'm not sure what happened, but that author wasn't able to write the 5th and final book, and the publishers asked Caleb to write it, and so that's why I wanted to read it, because I love Caleb. But the first book is called The Day Before, and it's a prequel novel that explores what the gang was doing before season 1 of the CW show. So that's why I got this one. Only 2 more books to go. Okay, next up we have The Betrothed by Kira Cass. I love the Selection series, and I have no idea what this one's about, honestly. But because I love the Selection series, this kind of gave me the vibes just by looking at the cover, and so I wanted to read it. This says, the young king of Korra has never been the type to settle down. That is, until he meets Hollis Bright. Hollis has grown up at Karekishin Castle among the other daughters of nobility who hope beyond hope that they'd catch the king's eye. So when King Jameson declares his love for her, Hollis is shocked and thrilled. But she soon realizes that along with the extravagant presence and fawning attention, this new life brings outsized expectations. Expectations that make her wonder if she's really cut out for the life as a royal. With a visit from the king of Asolite on the horizon, Hollis sees a chance to prove to Jameson and herself that she has what it takes to be queen. But when she meets an Asoltan stranger with the mysterious power to see right into her heart, she finds that the future she wants is one she never dared to dream of. And then the last book I have here is Forever Neverland by Susan Adrian, and this is a Peter Pan retelling, and it's middle grade. This says, come away with me. Clover and Fergus are the great-great-grandchildren of Wendy Darling. Yes, that Wendy. And now Peter Pan wants to take them to Neverland for the adventure of their lives. But Clover's a little nervous. She's supposed to look after her brother. Fergus is autistic and not everyone makes him feel welcome. What will happen to him in this magical world? Fergus isn't nervous at all. To him, Neverland seems like a dream come true. He's tired of Clover's constant mothering and wants some independence, like Peter and the Lost Boys have. He wonders, why can't the real world be more like Neverland? Neverland is fun and free, but it's also dangerous and even scary at times. Unfamiliar creatures lurk in the shadows, and strange sounds come from the waters. And then the mermaids start to go missing. In an imaginative and thoughtful continuation of the story of Peter Pan, Susan Adrian explores Neverland with a fresh perspective and indelible warmth, offering a new adventure based on a beloved classic. And I think this sounds amazing. Also, my battery's flashing, so I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Have you guys read any of them? Did you like them? Did you not? Comment down below and let me know. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, give me a big thumbs up. If you'd like to see more videos like this, click that subscribe button down below. And until next time, remember to always be completely you. Bye!